into this circle. We gather into this circle of care to dream, to envision, to embody and achieve the compassion we dream, the justice we envision, the dignity of each, in an ever-growing circle of love and justice. Come, let us worship together. We rise in body or in spirit to join our voices in our opening hymn, Guide My Feet, number 348 in the gray hymnal.
Lights our chalice with these words by Paul Sprecher. We light this chalice in memory of the courage of those who have struggled for freedom, the persistence of those who've struggled for justice, and the love of those who've built beloved communities to carry on the light of hope.
If there are any children who would like to come forward, I invite you to do so now. Good morning. Good morning. All right. 1963, Birmingham, Alabama. I couldn't play on the same playground as the white kids. I couldn't go to their schools. I couldn't drink from their water fountains. We were there to hear Dr. King speak. We were there to plan. He wanted to raise an army of peaceful protesters to fight for freedom. His brown eyes flashing fire and love, Dr. King told us the time had come to march. If I march, Mama said, I'll lose my job for sure. I can't march, Daddy said. I've got a family to feed. The weight of the world rested on our parents' shoulders, but this burden, this time, did not have to be theirs to bear. I don't have a boss to fear, my brother said, or a job to lose. We can march this time. We'll be Dr. King's army, I said. I'll be fine, Daddy, I promised. Don't worry, Mama. Dr. King didn't like children being put in harm's way, but he was a daddy too, after all. But he said that though we were young, we were not too young to want our freedom. Let the children march. They will lead the way. On May 2nd, a sunny Thursday, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, cousins and friends, we all met at the church, dressed in our best, feet ready. In a silence so loud that all I could hear was my racing heart, we began to walk. Hand in hand we marched, so frightened, yet certain of what was right for freedom. The path may be long and troubled, but I know walk on. Would I be hurt? Would I be heard? Would it all be worth it in the end? I wanted to run from the angry faces in the crowd, run from danger, run from fear. Boys and girls, brothers and sisters, cousins and friends, on and on we marched, we marched, we marched. Singing the songs of freedom, 1,000 strong we came. Hate dogged my heels all that day, its yellow canine teeth sharp, but courage walked by my side, and I kept going. Disperse, or you'll be jailed, the police shouted the first day. Disperse, or you'll get wet, the police shouted the second day. Disperse, or we'll release the dogs, the police shouted on the third day. We did not disperse. We kept on marching. We wouldn't stop until things started to change. Hundreds of us went to jail on the first day, and even more on the second. My turn wasn't until the third day. After I was sprayed by water stronger than anything I'd ever felt, rough hands pushed me forward, and I fell to my knees in the police wagon. I was going to jail. Dr. King reassured our parents, don't worry about your children, he said. They're going to be all right. Don't hold them back if they want to go to jail. For they are doing a job, not only for themselves, but for all of America and for all of mankind. That night, crowded into a cell too small for even half of the kids, we sang, we shall overcome. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. And freedom is coming. Our parents couldn't be there with us, but still we sang, wrapped in the proud and loving arms of our ancestors. I was still in jail, but we heard that next day, and the next, more kids marched. The water hoses they used to sting us could not stop our fierce tide. The path may be long and troubled, but I'm going to walk on. Turn the other cheek, we had been taught. Show love where there is hate. The world watched as hate bruised us, but for 7 days we walked only in love. The jails were swelled to bursting, and even President Kennedy took notice. Daddy said the president received letters and calls about us from all over the world. Our march would become a memory, a small part of a larger story. But we had been heard, and the seeds of revolution were sown. 2 days and nights I stayed in the jail. Some stayed even longer. When I left, I was tired and sore, and my dress was ripped. But my smile was as wide as the Mississippi River. I had made a difference. I am so proud of you, baby girl, Mama said. Your march was what made them see. With nothing more than our feet, voices, and courage, we had done what others could not. Change was right around the corner. I felt it like a cool breeze in the Alabama August. On May 10th, the great news rang out. Dr. King had reached an agreement with the white leaders of the city. Desegregation would begin. 1 month later, I was playing on a playground I'd never been allowed to play on before. 2 months later, my family ate at a diner we'd never been allowed to eat at before. Our march had made a difference. We children had led the way. Singing the songs of freedom, 1,000 strong, we came. Thanks for listening. Please remain seated for our prayer hymn, To See the World, number 398 in your gray hymnal. In the silence that follows the spoken prayer, you are invited to come forward and light a candle for any joys or concerns that you hold in your heart this morning. Spirit of love and life, source of all that is. In times when our spirits are broken and our hearts ache, when we are met with anger and violence at every turn, we turn to an everlasting love to sustain us, to guide us. We need strength in times of uncertainty. We need faith in times of oppression. We need love in times of hate. May we know the courage to combat the evils of injustice, and may we know the strength to resist that which serves to incite hate, anger, and violence. May we work for a just and equitable world where all are safe, whole, and loved. And may we find eternal love, both within us and around us, both immanent and transcendent, knowing that love is not lost, that it cannot be overpowered by injustice or hidden under the veil of violence. May we know that strength, which is eternal, as we continue to speak out against injustice and fight the evils of oppression. May it be so, and amen. I light a candle for the joys and concerns of those beloveds joining us virtually. And I light a candle for all else that we hold in our hearts and our minds this morning. If your heart is hurting, know that your community is here to help, as am I. Please reach out with any needs.
Of Michael Hall, as we approach the time for our offering, give what you will for the church that has meant so much to you, for the church that has meant so much to those who came before you, and for the church that will mean so much to the people you will never know. Give what you will, for you are a generous people. For those of you watching the service online, you may contribute to a virtual offering plate using the donate button on our website or by mailing a check to the church office. I invite the ushers forward to receive the offering. For all that you give and all that you do for our church and its wider concerns, we give thanks. Where do we go from here? By Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. The beauty of nonviolence is that in its own way and its own time, it seeks to break the chain reaction of evil. Resistance and nonviolence are not in themselves good. There is another element that must be present in our struggle that then makes our resistance and nonviolence truly meaningful. Our ultimate end must be the creation of the beloved community. I invite you to rise in body or spirit to join our voices in hymn 134, Our World is One World.
of George Floyd, the country erupted in protests. Residents of city after city gathered en masse to resist police brutality and racial injustice. I joined a protest in Washington, D.C., gathering with thousands who fought for a just and equitable world, side by side. We were angry, determined, and that was palpable, and we resisted. We resisted by hearing testimony from Reverend Al Sharpton, from family members of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. We resisted with our chants. This is what democracy looks like, with our signs and our overwhelming presence. I cannot help but relate this to the emotional turmoil we have felt these past 2 weeks. I lift up the powerful words of Minnesota Governor Walz. We must protest loudly, urgently, but also peacefully. In hearing this speech, I'm reminded of the words of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Peace is not merely the absence of tension. It is the presence of justice. This love and compassion are what the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. embodied in response to a deeply racist, hateful, violent, and prejudiced country, to a broken, unjust, and inequitable world. He taught and lived a life of agape love and nonviolence, embedded and inspired by his Christian faith, rooted in his theology. It was his Baptist faith that served as a bedrock in his resistance. And so this is the faith that we will begin with. What was the faith of King that led to profound acts to counter segregation, discrimination, and economic injustice? First were the teachings and actions of Jesus, one of the prophets of our own faith and an exemplar for us as well. He found guidance from the parable of the Good Samaritan, teaching care and compassion across hate, animosity, and societal divides. From the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector, contrasting a self-righteous Pharisee immersed in his own virtue alongside a humble tax collector who asks for God's mercy. The parable teaches that acts of piety are not enough, that true religion must be inward and based in morality, as was King's faith. And he drew from the parable of the rich man and Lazarus. A wealthy man lives a life of luxury, while an unhoused and hungry man lies at his gate. Upon death, the poor man heals, while the rich man suffers. We are called towards compassion and justice, not indifference. King also drew upon liberation theology. God, the sacred, the holy, is an all-loving entity, embracing each finite being. Yet, this loving essence shows preferential treatment for the least of these, remaining on the side of the oppressed, liberating the oppressed, the marginalized, the ostracized, the dehumanized. This is where we undoubtedly find the divine, and the divine's unconditional love. King found his God amidst those suffering from racism and economic inequality. We are called to hear those immersed in divine compassion, to heal those. And before we speak of love, we need to understand King's embodiment of agape love. Agape love is not romantic love or self-love. It is not affectionate. It is an unconditional desire for well-being, offered even to enemies. It is universal. It is a catalyst towards actions that serve to heal. It seeks the basic well-being of all others, including those of whom we may feel to be undeserving. And it is hard. Loving our enemies is truly difficult and may seem to be the total antithesis of what our hearts and minds are telling us to do. But connect with your hearts and that still small voice within. True pacifism, or nonviolent resistance, King wrote, is a courageous confrontation of evil by the power of love. Love is courageous. Through his grounding in the Christian faith, King fought against what he termed the triple evils: poverty, racism, and militarism. These are interconnected and interwoven, serving as barriers to the beloved community that King aspired to create. Working to affect and heal one affects all three. We see these three here now today, serving to the detriment of the United States and our communities. Attacking countries and deploying the National Guard is unprecedented. He was fascinated with the idea that he drew from the actions of Gandhi, refusing to cooperate with a system steeped in evil. And these are evil systems. Instead, we actively work against them all three. And we are able to do this through King's 6 principles of nonviolence. These principles are the core teachings of Dr. King. 1, violence is not the only way to resist the evils of society. In fact, violence is not the answer at all. Violence is an easy form of retaliation, yet it only leads to cycles of more and more hardship. We continue to resist, and we do it peacefully. Second, nonviolence brings understanding. Now, I grappled with this one of understanding ICE officers who incite violence or politicians who disparage an entire group of people. Reconciliation, understanding, is not ignoring the harms that have been committed, but facing the difficult truth together. In this way, beloved community can be born. Third, quote, evil itself, not the people committing evil acts, should be opposed. Evil is systemic. Evil is the institution of racism, xenophobia, militarism, authoritarianism, war, apartheid. These institutions serve to shape masses of people towards unjust, violent, and unethical actions. Fourth, we are called to, quote, suffer without retaliation. This is redemptive. Suffering for a just cause is transformative and educational. Fifth, nonviolent resistance avoids both physical, external violence, as well as internal violence of the spirit. Quote, the nonviolent resistor not only refuses to shoot his opponent, but he also refuses to hate him. We avoid physical violence of the wrongdoers and all that it creates. Yet, we also avoid that which affects the soul. Inner, unchecked anger, fierce judgment, a call towards retaliation. If we engage with these, we harm ourselves in the process. The sixth and final principle of nonviolence, we must have a deep and abiding faith in the future. A future where compassion and not fear can serve as a guiding force, where greed and power lose their lure, where people are treated as individuals, not as isms. Furthermore, it is the oft-quoted belief that the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Though not immediate, there is moral progress requiring the work of individuals and institutions alike. Small setbacks are overwhelmed by positive progress. It reminds us that our struggles lead to greater morality. What does our own faith teach us about love and nonviolence? We, as a faith, recently voted to articulate the tenets of our faith through 6 values. We have a visual, a flower, 1 center, and 6 petals. And the center is love. This is the root of all that we stand for as a faith community. And it is, as I understand it, agape love. We cannot embrace our interdependence unless we fully believe in a love that heals and connects all sentient beings. We cannot celebrate pluralism if we do not rejoice, love, and recognize as sacred the world's people and all the gifts of diversity we offer one another. We cannot practice equity if we do not affirm everyone's inherent dignity and worthiness. The just, equitable, and compassionate society we aim to create as a faith movement is based on the tenets of love. We believe in the goodness of people. At the conclusion of her journal, Anne Frank wrote, "In spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart." This encapsulates her enduring hope and belief in humanity, despite the horrors she faced during the Holocaust. There are so many inherently good people in this world. We pass them in the grocery store, the library, the sidewalk. Find hope. What can these teachings offered by Reverend Dr. King say about the social maladies we face today? King taught us that darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. What happens if we seek to drive out hate with even more hate? It becomes a perpetual cycle that feeds upon itself, creating increasing division and unchecked anger. There is a place for justifiable anger. In fact, we need this anger in any fight for justice. Anger fueled by opposition to xenophobia and brutality. But may this justifiable anger serve, not to our detriment, but as a catalyst towards healing a world steeped in inequities as we take to the streets for justice. We cannot let ICE or power-seeking politicians strip us of our morals and convictions and replace them with unchecked anger or violent ruminations, for it is these very same morals and convictions that guide us towards justice. Only love can drive out hate. Only light can drive out darkness. We need to be reminded to remain grounded in our faith and our basic redemptive tenets that serve to heal our world. Fight the powers that be, politicians inciting violence and many perpetrators, ICE, with the teachings of nonviolent resistance. I offer this. We cannot let unjustified anger and unchecked violence overcome our morals and convictions. We cannot let our hope and compassion be overridden by all the evils we are fighting against: poverty, racism, and militarism. We cannot give up our values, principles, ethics, and guiding forces grounded in our faith when met with systemic injustice. Perhaps most importantly, we cannot let hate overpower our love. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. spent each day working to create his goal of what he termed beloved community, facilitating boycotts, sit-ins, marches, civil disobedience, all towards creating a just and equitable society. He taught generations of activists how to embody their best, most transformative selves. Beloved community was his driving vision of an integrated, just, and compassionate community, where everyone knows safety, belonging, and equity, where everyone's inherent worth is realized and celebrated. He saw this world created through individual and societal transformation. It is an idealistic world, yet it is one we can strive to create in each of our days. Work initiated by our own Unitarian Universalist faith. We know how these ideals work in interpersonal relationships, our lives, and our interactions, disputes between friends, partners, or coworkers. This is a practice to bring to the world as a whole, to heal the broken and beautiful world, and create that oft sought-after beloved community as presented by Dr. King. It is time to make our ideologies a reality. So go forth, practice nonviolent resistance, work against systems, not people. Do not practice brutality in mind or in action. Abstain from hate and unchecked anger. Fight through just and nonviolent ways, through boycotts, marches, and sit-ins. The triple evils of poverty, racism, and militarism. Have faith in the future. Resist people and institutions through agape love. Go forth to do your part in healing this broken and beautiful world. May it be so, and amen. I invite you to rise and body or spirit to join our voices in hymn 170 in the gray hymnal, We Are a Gentle, Angry People. and blessed finite realm through the embrace of love and the rejection of violence. May poverty, racism, and brutality recede in strength as goodness, faith, and hope prevail. Go in peace, and amen.